Jai Shri Ram. We will now learn about self-actualization. 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 You see, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Yoga karmasu kaushalam. Yoga karmasu kaushalam. Which means yoga is skill in work. That is the simplest interpretation. But what Krishna is basically saying is the definition of yoga is being highly skilled in whatever you do. That's yoga. If you are a painter, try to be the best painter. If you are a singer, try to be the best. If you are a teacher, try to be the best. So do whatever you do, try to be the best. Aspire to be the best. 10,000 hours of practice is what is necessary. That is the theory of Malcolm Gladwell. If anyone puts in 10,000 hours of practice in any activity, he will become a world champion. So Krishna is saying that yoga karmasu kaushalam. Now if you remember this theory of Abraham Maslow, the need hierarchy, if you have had this subject called managerial economics, usually it is taught in that and even in management. It's a wonderful subject, wonderful topic in psychology. Need hierarchy, Maslow's need hierarchy. The highest need is called the self-actualization need. Now this concept, I think this is a word created by Abraham Maslow. Self-actualization means actualizing the self, which means we all come with a lot of potential, but most of us achieve very little in life. Why? Because of an impoverished environment. Bad parenting. Unfortunately, the parents are also incapable of doing much because even when they try very hard, the environment is such. It is a completely vitiated atmosphere. The Bollywood, Kacharawood movies that they are making, they have developed and instilled a sense of inferiority in Hindus. So we are in such an impoverished kind of environment where the raunch culture is on the rise. Raunchy film songs and total labifaction of culture. Labefaction. As a result, every child is a born genius but not able to achieve anything because of the lousy system. Our textbooks have been written by those Marxist rascals who have distorted history. And the movie industry is full of jihadis who are producing all these movies which are totally Hindu phobic. And so what else? Our schools are being run by missionaries. So English education, and they are systematically undermining Hindu culture. Right. So I think it is high time. This is the age of renewal, resurgence of Hinduism. After the Ram temple Prana Pratishtha, I think this is an important watershed in the history of the Hindu civilization. Right. So we must all self-actualize. Now, at this point, I would like to also add, every Indian Muslim and Christian must acknowledge the fact that their forefathers were all Hindus. And they may be third generation, fourth generation, fifth generation Muslims. But their forefathers were all Hindus. Barring a very small, negligible 0.001% of Christians and Muslims who are outsiders, that means of foreign DNA, all the Indian Muslims and Hindus, 99.9% have the same DNA as the Hindu. So we are one race. In fact, they must start reading their holy books and then decide whether they want to subscribe to those beliefs. Study the Bhagavad Gita. Yoga karmasu kaushalam. Don't forget this. Yoga karmasu kaushalam. What a wonderful definition. Now, people think that yoga means, getting into all kinds of asanas and doing all kinds of things. And Krishna, of course, has given many definitions of yoga. And this is my favorite. Yoga karmasu kaushalam. And in the 18th chapter, Krishna also says, Sve sve karmanyabhirataha samsiddhim. Samsiddhim. What is the shloka? Samsiddhim labhate naraha. So, it is 1845. Please make a note. Sve sve karmanya bhirataha samsiddhim labhate naraha swakarma nirata siddhim yadha vindati tachrunu. So, everyone can achieve Moksha, you will qualify for moksha, salvation, redemption, nirvana, freedom from suffering, freedom from the continuous uh, cycle of birth and death is possible simply by doing your duty. स्वे स्वे कर्मण्यभिरतः संसिद्धिं लभते नरः स्वकर्म निरतः सिद्धिं स्वकर्म निरतः सिद्धिं सिद्धिं means perfection यदा विन्दति तच्छृणु. So please listen to me. Krishna is saying, यत्तः प्रवृत्तिर्भूतानां येन सर्वमिदं ततं स्वकर्मणा तमभ्यर्च्य सिद्धिं विन्दति मानवः. So by just doing your own duty, you can achieve what is called perfection, and perfection here includes moksha. So I just discovered that in my old library shelf there was this article on characteristics of a self-actualization person, self-actualizing person. I'm going to read it out. Please listen carefully. And these are actually questions, and you can do some rating. You can rate yourself. The first one: the self-actualized person has a more efficient perception of reality and more comfortable relations with it. He can accept the good and the bad, the highs and the lows, and he can tell the difference. From 1 to 10, what is the score you will give yourself? And what is the question? A self-actualized person has more efficient perception of reality and more comfortable with reality. He can accept the good and the bad. That means he is like a sthita prajna, right? So, do you get swayed? Do you get terribly depressed when bad things happen? And do you go out of control, enjoy when good things happen? So if you can be a spectator, take everything in your stride, then you get a high score out of 10. So that's an important characteristic of a self-actualizing person. Okay. Next one: acceptance of self, others, and nature. The self-actualizing person sees reality as it is and accepts responsibility for it. He is as objective as a subjective being can be in his perceptions. So, right? So that is a yogi, Sthita Prajna again. If you, second chapter 54 to 72, Krishna talks about Sthita Prajnatva. This is actually just like the shlokas there. So you can be as objective as the most subjective person in his perceptions. Very totally objective, factual, impartial. Then the self-actualizing person has spontaneity, simplicity, and naturalness. Naturalness. Very spontaneous, simple, natural. In other words, this kind of a person is not hung up on being as others think he should be. So he will not follow traditions and not tradition, trends. He is not a snob. He is not a trendoid. He is not a fashion victim. He is a person who is capable of doing what feels good and natural for himself, simply because that's how he feels. He does not try to hurt others, but he has respect for what is good himself. What is good for himself? 1 to 10. Next, problem centering. The self-actualizing person is someone who is generally strongly focused on problems outside of himself. He is concerned with the problems of others and problems of society and is willing to work to try to alleviate those difficulties. Yes, I don't have to explain this. 1 out of 10. What are you doing for others? Are you trying to solve any problems? Right now, doing all this, I know not many people are going to watch this. They would rather watch some dirty dance, item number dance, but not listen to me. But I'm telling you, please listen to me. It will change your life. This word and this concept, self-actualization, has changed my life. Right? I want you to understand. Because someday you will achieve greatness and you will inspire millions and change lives. There's a great satisfaction in doing that. Okay. Then next question. The quality for detachment, the need for privacy. For all his social mindedness, the self-actualizing person has a need to be by himself or a need for solitude. He enjoys times for quiet reflection and doesn't always need people around him. He can be with few people that he could be close to and not need to communicate with them. Their presence is sufficient in and of itself. Wonderful, very poetic. 1 to 10. Do you love solitude? I am never alone when I am alone. And anyway, I have a decent library and all the authors talk to me. And mainly Krishna talks to me because I keep reading Bhagavad Gita and different interpretations by different people. Okay, next. Autonomy, independence of culture and environment. The self actualizing person is capable of doing things for himself and making decisions on his own. He believes in who and what he is. Now, autonomy, independence of culture and environment. So, a self actualizing person may may seem to be deeply involved in his culture, but he will not allow excessive inculturation, right? So let people do what they do. I belong to Hindu culture, but there are so many things I don't do what Hindus do. I keep myself aloof in that sense. So, like the Padma Patra Mivambasa, totally detached, immersed but detached. Next, continued freshness of appreciation. The self actualizing person experiences a joy in the simple and the natural. Sunsets are always beautiful and he seeks them out. He can still enjoy playing the games he played as a child and having fun in some of the same ways he did many years before. Do you? Let's see the next. So, the mystic experience. This is another very interesting. So, keep rating yourself. Anyway, whether you rate or not, I'm sure there's a lot of learning at the end of the day. The mystic experience, the peak experience. Self actualizing people usually have experiences in which they literally feel they are floating. Flow, in a flow state. Keep a few dumbbells, do exercise. Physical exercise can quickly induce the flow state and you will get into the alpha state. Okay. Self actualizing people usually have experiences in which they literally feel they are floating and they are in a flow state. They feel very much in tune or at one with the world around them and almost feel as if they are, for a momentary period in time, part of a different reality. Okay. यहाँ मैं अजनबी हूँ, यहाँ मैं अजनबी हूँ. You heard that song? Please listen to that. Mohammed Rafi. मैं जो हूँ बस यही हूँ, यहाँ मैं अजनबी हूँ. That's a lovely song. Next, a feeling of togetherness. Self-actualizing people have a feeling for all of mankind. They are aware and sensitive to the people that are about them. Right? Yeah. You can see Rama in everyone. But that doesn't mean we are going to be gullible. Okay. Next. Out of 10, how much you are going to give yourself? Next. Interpersonal relations. Self-actualizing people have deeper and more profound interpersonal relations than other adults. They are capable of fusion, greater love, and more perfect identification that other people could consider possible. They generally tend to have relatively few friends, but those relationships are very deep and very meaningful. Yeah, that's true of me. Next, the democratic character structures. Self-actualizing people tend to believe in the equal nature of human beings. Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gavihastini shunichaiva svapake cha pandita samadarshana. Ishvara sarvabhutanam hrideshe junatishthati brahmayan sarvabhutani yantrarudhani maya. See Rama in everyone. But play the role. If Rama raises a hand, you are invited to a fight. Okay? The democratic character structure. There is something we can learn from everybody also. They believe in the equal nature of human beings, that every individual has a right to say, and that each person has his strengths and each person has his weaknesses. Respect all. Next, discriminating between means and ends, between good and evil. Dharma, adharma. Adharmam dharmamitya manyate tamasavruta. Krishna said that. Self-actualizing people know the difference between means and ends and good and evil and do not twist them. No psychopathology, not a psychopath. In this way, they don't hurt themselves or others. Self-actualizing. These days we are surrounded by psychopaths. I am sick and tired. Psychopaths, study about psychopaths. Extremely cunning, dangerous, no conscience. They will dupe you, cheat you, backstab you. No conscience, no remorse. And very intelligent, very manipulative. 9 out of 10 people are like that. And especially the ones who seem to be very nice, they are the worst. So suspect all, respect all, suspect all, respect all. Next, philosophical and unhostile sense of humor. This is something very important. I notice many people think they're very funny, but they crack jokes which are offensive. Your sense of humor should be philosophical, never hostile. Okay? Self-actualizing people tend to enjoy humor. They have a terrific sense of humor. They like to laugh and like to joke, but not at the expense of others. Okay, they're good-natured and capable of being very serious too. And in fact, see the humor in every situation. Next, creativeness. Self-actualizing people are capable of being highly creative. Creative. Yeah, I don't have to explain that. In writing, speaking, playing, fantasies, whatever. Huh? Maslow has said that a first rate cook is better than a second rate painter. Huh? Creativity can be expressed in many, many dimensions. In fact, every small thing that you do, you can be creative. Next, resistance to inculturation. I already mentioned that. The transcendence of any particular culture. Maslow feels that the individual is above his culture in some ways, that he maintains a strong individuality and is not so absorbed that he cannot evaluate the culture objectively in such a way that he can make decisions about what is best for him and those he cares about. Honestly, as a Hindu, I feel there are many things within Hinduism which Hindus should pay attention to and completely jettison lock, stock, and barrel and follow Krishna. They're worshipping all kinds of weird babas, babas who are themselves bloody rotten fellows, huh? And wasting time in rituals, many meaningless rituals. Of course, there are many rituals which are deeply philosophical, very profound, and instill great samskaras. But at the same time, still there are many. First of all, animal sacrifice is one thing that should be completely shunned and avoided. Hindus should stop eating meat. Uh, Vedas don't support meat eating. It is papam, mamsam. Mamsam actually is nothing but menstrual blood solidified into meat. So you can't drink somebody's menstrual blood, menses blood. So this is a horrible thing. And likewise, so many superstitions are there. Beliefs in stupid things where money is being wasted. Uh, Build beautiful temples. A big temple will, like Ram temple, is stimulating the economy. Ayodhya is now going to become an international city. Maharshi Valmiki International Airport. Those many rascals said that what is the use of building temples? Will you go to a temple for food? Or can you go to a temple? Bloody idiot. So look at the billions, how it is stimulating and see the multiplier effect. The temple is the hub of activity and it provides employment for millions directly and billions indirectly. Tourism center, flights, transport, to name it. Just go and study. And what is this psychological environment? Such an enriched environment. That is how you uplift entire societies. In fact, mankind can be uplifted. The values that Rama lived for. Rama is not just an individual. Rama is the cultural icon of India. Rama is in our DNA. So, there are so many things we still have to reform. Stupid beliefs. There are so many long list of stupid beliefs. I'm sick and tired. That's why whenever most people come to see me and my Gitalayam, the first thought that occurs to me after some time, within a few minutes I can judge what kind of people they are. Is there something worthwhile I can learn from them? Otherwise, I'm waiting to find a way to send them out, kick them out actually. Jaiye bhai, aap jaiye, please. Last one. The imperfections of self-actualizing people. Self-actualizing people are individuals who are aware of the fact that they are not perfect, that they are as human as the next person, and that there are constantly new things to learn and new ways to grow. The self-actualizing person, although comfortable with himself, never stops learning, striving. Learn something new every day, or do things differently every day, and do different things. Different things and same things differently, and keep working out. Please do exercise because that will improve, enhance the amount of endorphins, moods get uplifted, and you can study more, learn more, and whatever you learn, you must teach, create YouTube videos, talk about it. huh? Keep working. I would love to, die of exhaustion rather than die of boredom. Jai Shri Ram. So that I think it's all based on Bhagavad Gita. You see, Krishna is the most self-actualized individual. And under Krishna's guidance, Arjuna also became perfectly self actualized. So I hope you will also be fully self actualized. So study Bhagavad Gita and read, chant Hanuman Chalisa every day. Jai Shri Ram. May you self actualize soon.